Conor, after the first fight with Nate, you handled yourself like a professional. You received a lot of praise for showing up at the press conference and handling yourself the way that you did. But talk about the few days after that, when things started to sink in, you were away from the media. What was the emotion like for the first couple of days after that loss?
It's something that it's part of the game. You just got to take it. It ain't nice. The highs are very, very high and the lows are low. But you suck it up, break it down into what went wrong, and correct the mistakes. This is the game we are in. It's a crazy business. Nobody makes it out of this game unscathed. All you got to do is look through the history books. So, I looked back at the contest and I enjoyed the contest. And that's it. I made my plans for revenge, and that's it.
The weeks after that, we kind of all wondered what was going to be next for you, and Dana would say, Conor's obsessed with this rematch, man. He's obsessed with it. Do you think that's a fair characterization? And if so, why were you obsessed with having it at 170 pounds when, truthfully, neither one of you guys are welterweight, so why not change the terms a little?
He's more than a welterweight now. He's about 200 pounds. He's been enjoying himself. But I couldn't make it at any other weight except the weight that I was defeated at. It would have raised questions. I feel it would have defeated the purpose of what this is about. I feel I was completely in control of the contest. I was slapping the head off him. Let's be real here. So that's it. I just wanted to keep it as is. Have my training camp and preparation for that frame, for that larger man, and that's it. I wanted no changes, so I got it.
And we've heard a lot about the changes in your training camp and the way you're approaching it differently this time. Can you talk about how that was developed, the decisions that were made? Were these decisions you made, your coaches made? How was it developed?
Nobody can compare to my rise and how this is all shaped about. Myself, my coach, my team, everyone involved in this, our life has changed so quick. So we were forced to kind of look at how we were preparing for these contests. It got complacent. We'll show up anytime. We'll train whatever we feel like. We'll hit them and they fall. And on top of that, everyone has their own commitments. Everyone has, the amount of stuff I have. My coach has a book out now, and everyone that has been involved in my camp have had a crazy change in their entire life. So this one, it forced us to look at how we were preparing. It forced us to come back together, and do what we've been doing from the beginning. Focus, solid work. This time we incorporated structure into the game. I feel structure is the true key to success. You can get a reasonable amount of success by just winging it and just going as you feel. But I feel to reach the true heights to reach the billions, the amount of stuff that comes along with this life, you've got to have a structured life. You've got to live a life of structure, and you can't stray from that. And that's what we've done. We've set training times, we've set schedules, and we've stuck to it. And I've responded really well. Another thing that we used to never do was rest. Was never really, we just train until it was fight time. This time we had our set days and we had our rest days. So I knew what days my rest were, and the days prior to that I would work hard in anticipation for this rest day. And when that rest day came, I would take my rest, and I would not have this anxiety feeling where I must train again, because that's what happens to a lot of people. They train out of anxiety, and it's like I'd be sitting there at 11 o'clock at night and be like, and I've just done 100 rounds this week, and it's Sunday, and I'm supposed to take a day off, and I'm like twitching and saying, fuck it, I'm going to go do another session, and then I'll go work. So everything was structured. I take my rest. I work when I work. The session starts and ends. That's another thing that we drifted off. The session never really started or ended. Sometimes I'd be in the gym for like 8 to 10 hours a day, just rolling through, not really anything specific. And for the fight game, that's not the correct approach. It's a 5-minute round with a 1-minute rest. You need to be prepared for that. That's what the contest is. You need to be able to go from 0 to 100, rest, and go again, rather than a continuous training cycle where you're in the gym, half training for many hours a day. That's not beneficial to what we are doing in the fight. So these are just changes that we've implemented, and again, I've responded amazingly. Usually at the end of camp, I'm like, I can't wait for this camp to end, or I'm sick of training, or or I'm banged up. I am absolutely perfect. Like this time last camp, I remember I was in a bad way. Everything was just, the opponent changed. The whole circus was kicking off again when it only had just happened. I was overtrained, and well, now here I am, fresh, full of energy, full of vitality, underweight. I know he's close to 200 pounds. So he has a weight cut. That's what happens. You eat, you get comfortable. All of a sudden, that weigh-in day creeps up, and you've got to weigh in. So it couldn't have went smoother for me, and I'm very happy with it. I brought out a full team of people to help me from home and from abroad and from everywhere, and everyone has been on the same path. It's been a phenomenal camp, and I look forward to showcasing what I have been doing in the gym.
Conor, I don't know if this thing is on, but Conor, can you explain this makeshift gym that was built for you here in Vegas, and why you wanted to hold yourself up here?
Yeah, well, one of the battles I've had with the UFC, the ongoing battle, is the media obligations. Obviously, I was pulled from 200 over it, but they came back with a load of new ones, and I was like, look, okay, I'll do a certain amount of stuff, but I want the gym. Hooked me up a gym, and then we went back and forth, and that didn't happen. And then the UFC gym people, which is like a separate to the UFC, they are the UFC gym brand. They said they would build a gym for me. They built this gym up. I sourced the location for it. I got the location, but they built it like within a day. So that was perfect for me. We walked in here, full octagon canvas, Dolomar mats, heavy bags. All the equipment I needed, they assisted with that. So that this could be the start of a relationship with the UFC gym. Maybe I will take the European rights and bring the UFC gyms all across Europe, and we'll see. We're in current talks with that, but I am grateful for their help in this one.
You mentioned Nate being around 200 pounds. How much are you weighing right now?
I'm underweight. I'm on weight. I wake up on weight.
And speaking of weight, Dana White said today to UFC.com that you'll definitely be going to 145 next to defend the belt against Jose Aldo. Is that accurate? Is that what the plan is?
Yeah, I read that. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot to still happen yet. So I'm gonna go in here, face this man, do what I know I can do, put him away, and then we'll talk. But we'll see.
And just last thing aside from opponent, New York has always been on your radar as a place where you wanted to fight. Obviously, that fight is coming up in November. It's pretty close to right now. Is that still on your radar? Is that still what you want?
Again, we'll see. There's a lot going on in the background. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of options available. So I'm just trying to stay focused on the task at hand. I certainly want to fight closer to home. I've fought so many times. I'm very, very active, as you know. I fought out here in Las Vegas, and it's a long trip from Ireland. So New York is certainly closer. There's a lot of Irish in New York. I would like to fight there. I think I've earned a chance to fight in my hometown also. So these are things that I want to do. But right now we are in Las Vegas, Sin City, the desert, and we've got business to handle. So that's what I'm doing here.
Conor, much has been made of the fact that Nate Diaz has been able to have a full camp to prepare for you this time, but you've also had a full camp to prepare for him this time, which is not something you had last time. Do you feel like that's made a positive difference on you that you've noticed?
It's certainly made a positive difference for me. I've experienced that motion, that range, that weight time and time again in the camp. How can it not make a positive feeling for me? I'm interested to see what the boy has done with a full camp. He was talking all this, I didn't have a full camp, and that's the reason I got my ass whooped for most of the fight until you couldn't whoop my ass no more. So let's see what he has. Let's see what his full camp has done. I believe I am the better fighter by a long stretch. I am more skilled. I am faster. I am smarter. He is tough, durable, and big. That's it. So let's see what his full camp can do. He spoke a big game about it. He has had a long camp. Let's see.
By your own standards, there's been probably less trash talking the build up to this fight from you than others. Does it seem unfamiliar to you, or has it actually helped your focus?
I don't. Again, this trash talk thing, I don't know. I simply feel I'm speaking the truth every time. It's been the same, it feels to me. It's been no different. I don't feel there's been any less or any more. It's just been the same. So I'm still saying I'm going to go out there and slap that big heavy bag with eyeballs around the ring, and that's it. It's the same thing.
And lastly, you seem a little non-committal as far as what might be waiting for you at 145 if you ever return to that. But has the thought occurred to you that contractually, you're obviously still headlining pay-per-views and non-title fights at higher weight classes, that you could benefit contractually from continuing to headline these pay-per-views, actually not hold a title and play out the contract and not be beholden to a champions clause?
Sorry, say that one more time, please.
Okay. Has it occurred to you that because you're still able to headline pay-per-views at higher weight classes, that if you don't return to 145, let's say you're stripped of the title, that you could actually benefit contractually because you could play out your contract, headline pay-per-views, and then not be beholden to a champions clause?
Man, I don't know. That's. I'm just taking it one fight at a time. The contract's sweet as pie, but it's most certainly a new time. There's new owners. $4 billion this baby was sold for. I believe I'm a strong reason why that price tag was $4 billion. So, this contract is great, but I feel the next one will be even better.
Conor, you were talking about overtraining last time, and you mentioned the other day on Instagram that you already did like more than 410 rounds. How do you pace yourself on those rounds to not really overtrain this time?
Again, like I said, it was like 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 weeks active, or 3 weeks on, 1 week active rest. So I had 3 days intense work, and then I had that day 4 was an active rest day where I chill and I'd stretch and I'd focus on my balance and just keep my body correct, and then back in for another 3 day burst. So that really helped me. I could see the rest ahead of me, so I would push for those 3 days. I would push hard, and then I had my day rest. And with the amount of stuff that comes on, I had that day. I would almost push stuff to that day. Okay, I'm going to handle this on this day. If there was business issues or whatever, it would be on my active rest day. So it couldn't have been perfect. 3 solid hard days, 1 day rest, and carry on. Again, I was monitoring my heart rate. If my heart rate was up in the mornings, maybe the rest day would come earlier or later, depending. If I woke up on that active rest day and my heart rate was low, I would go again and take the rest day the following day. So it has been very methodical in our approach. And like I said, I've responded amazingly to it. I am full of energy. I am fresh. I am underweight, so I'm happy.
You also mentioned that you spend a lot of money to bring your camp here and to actually have all these things for you to train properly. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's not a cheap expense to take a whole group of people from where they are to a location for 8 weeks. I have 2 houses out here, one for the coaching staff and one for the sparring partners. The gym was located, the transport, the flights. I sort tickets for everyone, and it's been an investment, but it's been correct. It's what it has to be. It's a true fight camp. This is what it's about. I can afford to do this, so I have done it.
Just last question.
For that Mendes fight, it was similar. The Mendes fight a while back when I came out here, it's an expense to come from where you live, to take people from where they live to another place. It costs, food, travel, lodge. It costs. So.
And last question, I was just curious if you were watching the Olympics and watching like your team, if you could talk about it.
The Olympics? Yeah, we've had. There's been a couple of issues in the boxing. One of the competitors was caught on performance-enhancing drugs, and actually the guy that lost out to that guy is here with me. He's the number 2. Well, really, he's the number 1. He's clean. He's here. He's a southpaw, Conor Wallace, tall, strong, sharp kid. He's been helping me prepare for this. That was an incident I think maybe might have hampered the spirit of the Irish team, but we've been doing well. We've got a couple of wins, and the competition is young. We have Michael Connell now competing on Sunday, so I'm holding out hope that our Olympic boxers will bring home medals. And then we've got those 2 rower kids the 2 rower guys from Cork, and they've been hilarious. They won a silver medal the other day, so it's great to watch the Irish people out in Rio. I've been there myself in Rio many times, and what I was thinking as well when them fights were taking place, and Paddy Barnes, who was competing, he was defeated he's a 2-time Olympian, 2-time medalist. and he was defeated in the opening round, and he was talking about his weight, and he felt fatigued in there, and I was thinking in my head, they went out too late. Brazil is an intense climate. Why do you think I'm out here 8 weeks prior? This is desert air out here. It's completely different. You go from beautiful Ireland into these type of environments. It affects your preparation. It affects your breathing, your performance. So I think that is an issue that maybe they left it too late. But we've been doing good. I feel we're still going to medal. And the Olympics has been great. It's been great to watch these athletes. I've been sitting watching Phelps and watching the swimmers and the gymnastics. Some amazing athletes, and seeing their, you can see their dedication and their commitment to their craft. And I feel the same from the other side of it, So it's given me motivation, and I look forward to having my Olympics August 20th.
Conor, given your standing in the sport, there were reports again this week of attempts to labor and unionize fighters, but it would seem if fighters like yourself and other huge names didn't take part, there would be no teeth to this. Do you have opinions on this in terms of what you think about unionizing fighters?
Look, many fighters are not in a great situation. I am blessed. I am blessed with the situation I am in. I have worked very hard for this. I have come in and I've put in the work to be in the situation I am in. But it's not nice to see my peers. Some of my peers, not all of them. Some of them do deserve to be in that because they are not at that level. But I feel it is important to bunch together and support each other. It's a dangerous, crazy business we are in. We get in and risk everything. I've witnessed firsthand how these fighters risk it all. So maybe in the future. Right now, I've got to focus on myself. That might be selfish, but this is the position I'm in right now. I have a lot going on. I've got to focus on my own self right now. But in the future, maybe I will help spearhead something like that if it is presented correctly. I wouldn't just jump in if it wasn't going to be done right.
Would you agree it would take fighters of your name and level to make it work, though?
Yeah, of course. Yes. Ric Flair is a legend. But as far as talking about gimmicks, this is the real thing over here. I think these WWE guys think they are not right in the head, some of them. I mean, the new age are dweebs. Let's be honest here, they're absolute dweebs. But the old school guys are legends, Ric Flair was a legend. The McMahons, of course, Dons. But I just said it as I is. The dweebs. I mean, what's the main guy, John Cena? He's wanting around. He's 40. Yeah, he's 40 years of age. He's wanting around in a luminous orange T-shirt and a headband, talking about nobody can see him. We can see him right there. He's a big fat 40-year-old failed Mr. Olympian motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? That dweebs, those guys. But I don't know what to say to Ric Flair. This ain't no gimmick. This is the real shit. I've got to get in and fight a man for real, with no script, with no nothing. So he was talking about challenging, bringing some other wrestler guys over to challenge me. I was saying, come bring it then. This is the real shit over here. If you want to come over, we can fight, no problem. And then a few of them are talking about the street and all. If they want to do that, come at me and see what happens. But like I said, no disrespect to the Dons of the game, the McMahons. I mean, Vinnie Mac's a fucking legend. I mean, they wrote Vinnie off a few years ago when he dropped from the billions, and then he rose back up, and now he's back in the billionaire club. And what he's been able to do with that bunch of dweebs he has over there at the moment has been phenomenal, and I respect him for that. And then, of course, the OGs of the game, the Rock, Stone Cold, they're all cool motherfuckers, but even Ric Flair's a cool motherfucker, but like I'm saying, I'm just speaking the truth. That new age of those guys are absolute dweebs, and they just seem messed up in the head. I don't know what it is when I listen to them talk, when I listen to them carry themselves. They just don't seem right in the head. So that might have been a bit ruthless of me to say, but again, it ain't trash talk, it's true talk.
Conor, you, as you said, you've repeatedly emphasized that you think this is the truth, and that you are one of the biggest stars in the boxing in the MMA game.
In the game.
In
period.
the game.
The fight game, the every damn game. I've got them all wrapped up on my little finger. You know what I mean? The boxing game, the MMA game. Now I've got those wrestling dweebs in here as well. You know what I mean? I've got the whole shit locked up.
Do you need to beat Nate Diaz in your mind to validate the things that you've said?
Yeah, 100%. You got to win. You got to go out there and win. But most importantly, I'll go out there and represent my training, represent my team, represent the hard work I've put in, and go out and shine in there August 20th. I've done it many times. I shine under those lights, and I will do it once again August 20th.
And since you talked about the future, there's another Vegas resident that you've spoken of potentially fighting in the future. Are there any thoughts to a future potential boxing match with Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, of course. Right now I have Floyd running around the Showtime offices gathering my money. That's what he's doing. He's running around the Showtime offices begging for those executives to come up with 100 million cash for me to fight me. So as soon as he gets my money, we can fight.
Conor, I guess following up on that, can you talk a little bit about Mayweather and the have you talked to him since this fight was put together, and what are the challenges of being a crossover athlete, boxing, fighting?
Look, if you want to fight me, we can fight. If you need a specific rule set to protect you from a true fight, that's no problem. Just make sure that money is there, and as long as that money is there, then we can fight under your safety net of rules. But me, I don't need rules. I am the fucking rule. So I've got the boxing community saying I can't box. And then I say, okay, let's fight. Oh, well, you can't kick or elbow or grapple. As long as you can't do that, then we'd box your ass up. Okay, then. And then I've got the grappling community saying I can't grapple. So I'll say, okay, let's fight. And then the grappling community will be like, well, you can't box or kick. As long as you can't do that, then we'll grapple your ass up. All these people saying I can't do this and I can't do that. And I say, well, let's fight then. And then all of a sudden, rules. You need to bring in rules to protect them. I don't need no rules to protect me. I can fight any way, so... That's my thoughts on all that. Like I said, if he comes forward with the bread, with the cash, we can have a knock, no problem.
Does it seem like he's avoiding a real fight?
You know, I don't really hold it against him. I mean, I wouldn't want to come into my world, no way. I mean, how is he going to come into my world? He's a novice where I come from. He's a phenomenal boxer, a phenomenal athlete, an intelligent businessman. But he's a novice in true fighting, and that's just simple fact. So I don't blame him for trying to make this set rules under the boxing rules. I mean, and like I said, I have no problem going over there. I would not show up unconfident. I would show up there to kill that man and take that win down 100%. Why dominate one world when you can dominate two? So we'll see how that plays out, though.
McGregor,
But all I know is everyone's looking for rules, everyone's looking for weight, everyone's looking for cherry-picking opponents. I'm up here facing a man that has a win over me and holds 30 pounds in weight on me. Look around the fight game. No one else is doing this. Nobody fucking else. So that's me. That's who I am.
Conor, what about the photos? Do you need that to set your mind?
Sorry?
What about the photos in the walls, Do you need that to set your mind?
No, I feel it makes the gym look good. Those left-hand babies cracking the chin. It's a nice image. There's the world-famous one against Aldo. I mean, it's my gym. I decorated with images. I wanted to inspire the teammates as well, to look at these images. And this is it. This is the McGregor gym here. So we plaster it with left hands and gold belts and green, white, and orange flags.
Still talking about Olympics, on Monday we will have Katie Taylor fighting again for the quarters, and Irish boxers are champion in London. Who's most famous in Irish, you or her?
Katie Taylor is an absolute hero. I'll be certainly at the watching the TV and cheering her on. Olympic champion, the woman that brought the women into the Olympics. So. She's very similar to Ronda in that way. She opened the door. So I hope she goes out and does it, and I'll be supporting her. I'm a big fan of Katie Taylor and all the Irish boxers competing.
Conor, should Dana ban John Jones and Brock Lesnar for life for cheating?
I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Fuck them both, to be honest. I don't really give it. I don't know the stories. I don't know the ins and outs, so I've got my own shit to worry about. I mean, I was taken from 200 for the co-main and the main, and then both of them popped for some shit, so do what you want. I don't give a fuck.
Can you talk about the last time, when you fought Nate at the weight, the week before, around this time, about 5 days before fight week, physically, how did you feel? Carrying the new weight and going in with a new opponent, did you feel a little bit different heading in that fight?
You know, I had a few issues going in, but I kept that to myself. I have reasons why I felt I performed that way. Thankfully, I have an opportunity to answer that to myself, to my team, and to the viewers at home. So, tune in August 20th. You'll see the real me.
Was it an issue about pacing as well? Because you talk about emptying your gas tank in the first round and knowing what you know from the first fight. How does that change strategy in the second fight in terms of conditioning and pacing?
I think, you know, I'm still going to go after the boy. I'm still going to put him against that fence, and I'm still going to bust that soft skin up. He might have a rock chin, but he's got soft skin. So I'm going to open that face up real nice. But the difference will be I'll still be there in the later rounds. I'll be still at that tempo. So, I mean, he was like, you ever see that episode of The Simpsons where Homer starts boxing? And he's competing, and he's just in the ring, and he's getting the head slapped off him, boom, 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 and then just the guy just can't punch him no more. And then Homer tips him, and the guy falls over. That was similar. That's the way Nate was in that fight. He was like Homer Simpson, just took the shots until I couldn't hit him no more. He's going to be no different this fight. He's going to just take the shots and hope that I can't hit him no more. Only I'm going to be still there, poking him into the face. So I look forward to it.
Are you still predicting a second round knockout?
Yeah, I feel I was close. I feel if there was a little more in the tank, I would have stopped him in the second round. So I feel I will be prepared for 5. I will go in anticipating 5. You know, I didn't give him respect. He can take as hell of a smack the boy can, but he will take a hell of a lot more. So I still feel I'll repay the favor second round.
Conor, what impact do you think that you've had on fighters asking for the money fight? You know, I have champions Eddie Alvarez and Tyron Woodley asking for big fights. What impact do you think that?
You know, you can't fight in Fight Pass, and you can't fight in these shows that generate zip, that generate zero, and then start demanding these things like you know what I mean? I came in and I brought it all. I broke every record and then began demanding everything, and still. So I just feel they're bums. 95% of the game is bums. I'll leave them to it. I mean, I don't even pay attention to it. Right now, here I am, a couple days out from a big one. I'll think about who's next and what's next and all those other guys talking shit after the fight.
About that private jet you were talking about. Any purchase in the near future?
The private jet with Ronaldo? Well, give me next year. I'll climb that Forbes list. I challenge him for the #1 Forbes spot.
Speaking of Forbes, Ronaldo laughed at you when you said you were going to beat him in the Forbes list. So what do you got to say to Ronaldo?
Yeah, I mean he's up there, and he said he just signed a new deal with Real Madrid, so it's going to be tough. But thankfully, this company's a $4 billion company, and I'm head of operations here. So I'm confident I'll rise through them ranks of the Forbes list, and I'll see that boy next year.
Great. Last question about the Olympics. What's your comment about the Egyptian fighter not shaking the hand of the Israeli fighter?
I didn't hear about that. I know nothing of it to speak on it.
Last question.
I'll take a couple more, Chris. I appreciate you all coming out here, and if you want to ask, we can.
Conor, it's pretty much official now that George St. Pierre is coming back. I know that you're obviously looking for big fights. We know that you're focusing on Nate right now, but is that a fight that could be on your mind in the future, you against GSP?
I mean, you hear so many things. Let's see what happens. Let's see the dotted line signed. Let's see fights take place. But right now, I don't see anyone on my level. So I'm having a hard time deciding who's next after this one. So we'll see. We'll let things play out, and then we'll figure it out.
I know you've had to deal with losses earlier in your career, but you've been riding such a wave the last couple fights, couple years. Do you feel different mentally, kind of going in to a fight off of a loss than you have the last couple fights?
I feel strong. I feel strong in my mind. I always do. I don't let defeat phase me. Like I said before, the true champions can come back. The true champions rise again. And I am a true champion, so I look forward to rising again August 20th.
Conor, what's the coolest thing about this fame over the last few years? Just personally, what's been kind of the coolest thing in your life?
You know, I love my life. I still do the same things I was doing. I still show up at the gym and try and take somebody out. You know, that's this life here. We show up, we bust each other up, and we go home. But of course, like, I'm just a young kid from Crumlin, Dublin, a little small town, and I'm getting to be on name-to-name basis with these stars, and I'm getting to have the freedom to do what I want, to wear nice things, and it's certainly a damn good life, and I'm extremely grateful and extremely blessed to be in this position.
Is it harder to be Mystic Mac when you moved up in weight? A little more of a challenge to predict?
You know, it's a challenge I have. He's a big, slow Mexican beanbag. So, but I'm going to take another stab at it. Second round, Mystic Mac.
Conor, it seems like a lot of the people, your competitors in the featherweight division, feel like you're not coming back. I know you're not. You don't know what's next. Does defending that belt mean something?
They're praying I don't come back. Tell me one time I missed weight. I even made championship weight when I wasn't supposed to make championship, when there was no championship on the line. They're praying I don't come back. I mean, I've beaten everybody in the division. If Frankie had won that last fight after all the shit he was talking and his team was talking, it would have been set in stone. I'm going back there to shut that man up. But he got slapped around that fight. Couldn't do nothing against a guy that I KO'd in one shot. So I just got to see it out, see what happens after this fight. But I'm the featherweight world champion. And, I mean, the guy I KO'd in 13 seconds is holding the interim. What does that tell you? I'm leaps and bounds ahead of that featherweight division.
So do you envision defending that title at some point in the future?
I'm the world champion. Of course I will defend it at some point in the future. But we'll see what happens after this fight.
Prior to the first fight with Nate Diaz, your goal was to be a two-division champion. Is that still a goal of yours?
You're damn right it is. I feel, I'm grateful that it happened the way it happened. But if Dos Anjos hadn't pussied out that last fight, the shots I hit Nate with in the first 8-9 minutes of that contest would have KO'd Dos Anjos, and that is it. I'd be sitting up here with a belt here and a belt there. But some things happen for a reason, and this one happened for a reason. It forced me to reevaluate before things got too sloppy. So I'm happy it happened. But most certainly, I still envision 2 and possibly 3 belts on my shoulder.
Doesn't matter which division is next for you. We just saw the belt change hands in both divisions, 155 and 170. Does it matter which one you go after first?
We've got to talk. We've got to sit down and talk and see what's next. But like I said, I've got to go in here against a man that has a win over me, has weight, has endurance, is tough as nails, and I've got to put him away. So I am laser focused on that, and that is all I'm thinking of right now.
Conor, the UFC said they're going to take some fighters and make movie stars out of them. Are you opposed to that? What's your comment?
Well, the new owners are like this. The new owner is the entourage guy, right? So that's what their game is on the other side. So I mean, I don't know. I turned down many. I've turned down many because this means a little bit more to me than that does right now. Maybe later though. But I mean, it's certainly not a bad connection to have. The new owners or these people are heavily involved in the entertainment industry. I mean, to see some fighters get breaks in other areas, that's great. It's big for the sport. It'll continue to grow the brand of the UFC and the fighters, and I think it's good overall. So we'll see. But right now, it's the fight business. It's not show business for me. Boom. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all coming out. I'm going to do some pad work on that. Stay loose. Thank you for the questions. Thank you.